everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to take a look at the new DC Collectibles 7-inch scale Deadshot figure from DC Collectibles Arrow TV series line. And this figure comes packaged in the same style of packaging we've seen with all the Arrow figures. You've got the window box packaging with the figure clearly displayed. You've got the white and green borders and then the Arrow logo down below. Off on the side of the packaging, you have a close-up look at the figure, and it tells us that this is figure number 6 in the series. And then on the back of the packaging, we have a look at all 6 figures that have been released in the Arrow line, the single carded figures or boxed figures. It doesn't include the 2-pack that was released last year with the first Arrow figure and the first Deathstroke figure. So we've got Oliver Queen without his shirt, Deathstroke, and they did misspell Deathstroke here. They forgot the R. Oops. Black Canary or Canary. The more modern Arrow figure, which I checked with Diamond, and this figure should hit comic and specialty shops next week on April 15th. So if you've been waiting for that one, it should be out next week. And then we've got the Dark Archer, which we looked at yesterday, and Deadshot, which we're looking at now. And then down below, we've got the DC Comics and the CW logos, and it tells us the figures were sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios. Okay, so let's get this figure open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. And I've got to say, this figure, it's not bad, but it's probably my least favorite of the Arrow figures released so far. So first of all, I think the likeness, the face sculpt, I think it's okay, but I don't think it completely captures the look of the actor from the TV series. I do like the hair sculpting on it. He's got some nice detailing. You can see the scar under his eye. He's got the little sight piece with the red light that's painted red. He's got some 5 o'clock shadow. So, but I just don't think it quite captures the actual look of the actor. It's not horrible or anything, but it's not as good as like the other Arrow figures, I don't think. The detailing on the rest of the sculpt is pretty nice. He's got his bullets sculpted across his chest. They're actually separate from the figure and just glued on there. And then he's got these pouches down here on his like stomach area. And then he's got some straps. He's got this one strap with like a little pouch, and it's glued off to the side of his leg. And then he's got on his other leg, he's got a working gun holster. Now the holster is kind of big. The gun fits pretty snugly in there, but it's a little bit loose. And then he's got underneath, he's got this, I guess, like bulletproof vest, and then underneath he's got just like the brown shirt, and you've got 2 tones of brown. You've got a darker brown and a lighter brown, and that looks all pretty good. Some nice wash effect on the paint there on the shirt area and stuff. And then he's got like a black shirt underneath that you can see up around his neck, and the skin tones are good for his face. Again, I like the hair. I like the sculpting of the hair. I think that's pretty good. And again, on the hair, he's got some wash, some darker and lighter browns in the hair. So that came out looking good. And then just gray pants and then black boots. There's some nice detailing on his back too. You can see this little, looks like a detonator of some kind, sculpted on his back, and then again some nice detailing on the vest that he's wearing and everything. Sculpting wise and everything, I think it's good. It's just I just don't think they quite captured the look of the actor. Again, it's not horrible, but it's not as good as what we've seen with some of the other figures in this line. Now he comes with 2 pistols. And they're both basically metallic gray, and some pretty nice detailing, and they're basically exactly the same. Both of the pistols are the same. Now he only has one working gun holster though, so you can get him to hold both guns in his hands. He does have 2 open hands, but if you're not having him hold the guns, then you're not gonna you're gonna have to just set the second gun off to the side. But he will hold both pistols in his hands. And then finally he comes with a sniper rifle, and the detailing on the sniper rifle is nice. I like the sculpt. The sculpt is like black and it's got this little wire piece on it, and then the rest of the gun is metallic type silvers. There's a little bit lighter silver here on the main body of the gun, and then some darker silvers for like the barrel and the stock and everything. So I like the detailing and sculpting on that. He's got this stand that's like folded up. Unfortunately it's not workable, so you can't like lift it down. But the main problem I have with this is that, you know, it's a sniper rifle, but unfortunately because of the articulation on this figure, he really can't get into any kind of sniper firing poses. You can barely get him into like a two-handed pose like this, and that's about it. But you're not going to get him like laying on the ground in a good sniper position or anything like that, which is kind of unfortunate for this figure since that's basically what he does in the show. Okay, so the figure stands at just a little bit under 7 inches tall, about 6 3/4 inches high. He's about the same height as that first Arrow figure released in the 2-pack. So the scale seems to be pretty good for the most part. And just for some extra comparisons, here he is against the Arkham Deadshot figure, and you can see he's actually a little bit taller than the Arkham version. And then here he is against, compared with the New 52 figure, and they're about the same height. Okay, so articulation on this figure is okay, but unfortunately it's a little bit limited as far as getting him into sniper positions, which is kind of disappointing for this particular character. So the head's on a ball joint, so he can look left and right, but he doesn't have a whole lot of up or down movement, a little bit, but not a whole lot. It would have been nice if they'd given him a hinge on the neck so that you could have him looking up, so you know you could have him laying down and looking into the sniper rifle. But unfortunately he just does not have that much upper movement in the head. Then the arms are on your standard ball hinge joint. He can get his arm out about that much, and he's got good rotation there. Single hinged elbows, again unfortunately. Double hinged elbows would have been nice to get that, you know, those arms bent for sniper poses. It does have a swivel at the elbow, and then the wrists are on the swivel and the hinges, so he's got the up and down movement at the wrist as well as the swivel. He does have a swivel at the waist. No ab crunch that I can tell. No, he doesn't. He does not have an ab crunch. And then the legs are on those ball joints, and it's hard to tell, but it does look like this figure might incorporate those clear joints. So I haven't had any issues with breakage, but I definitely would be kind of careful on this one when you start like doing the splits and stuff. And really, at least my figure, I don't want to force it too much, but that's about as much as I feel comfortable getting him to do the splits. And then he can get his leg forward good, and he can get his leg backward pretty good. He does have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, so he's got good bending at the knees. He has swivel at the boot cuff, and then he does have ankle pivot. And then one peg hole on the bottom of his foot. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I think this is an okay figure. It's not the greatest. It's certainly not my favorite in this Arrow line. I think the head sculpt is okay, but I don't think it captures the actor's likeness as good as other figures in this line have. The main thing I'm disappointed with on this figure though is just the kind of lack of being able to get him into any kind of good sniper or rifle firing positions. You know, they gave him this nice sniper rifle, but you really can't do much with it other than have him just hold it in his hand. So to me that's kind of disappointing. Otherwise though, I mean, you know, the overall sculpt of the figure, the paint applications on it are nice. And I mean, if you've been collecting the Arrow figures, you're probably still going to want to add this one to your collection. But again, just don't expect to be able to get them into any kind of really good sniper rifle firing poses. As I mentioned at the beginning, this figure is hitting comic and specialty shops now. So if you want to add it to your collection, you know, you start looking now. And that's our review. We have a full gallery of images of the figure over at toynewseye.com. There's a description in the, or there's a link in the description below. And as always, we ask, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you later.